Hello everyone, myself Sagar Gunani from Elite Careers and this video lecture is on simple and compound interest part 3. Let's proceed further with few problems related to it. Question number 11. A sum becomes 4 times in 2 years at compound interest. In how many years the same sum becomes 16 times? Let's say that the sum which is given on the compound interest is y rupees. This y rupees becomes 4 times of itself. So y turns to 4 times the principal, that is 4y in 2 years at compound interest. So this is the total amount which you will get after 2 years. So the amount at simple interest is equal to principal into 1 plus r by 100 raised to number of years. So amount is 4y, principal is y into 1 plus r by 100 raised to n is equal to 2 years. So the only unknown quantity in this formula is rate of interest. So from this equation we will find out the rate of interest. Once the rate of interest is known, we will proceed to the next statement which says that in how many years the sum becomes 16 times. So same sum, that is y, becomes 16 times in how many years? So you can say that if principal is y rupees, then it becomes 16y. This is the amount which is to be paid at a compound interest. So amount A is equal to principal into 1 plus r by 100 raised to number of years. Now principal becomes 16 times. So y will get cancelled. R we have found out from the previous statement. So we will use the value of r from the first statement. And only unknown quantity in this formula is number of years. So solving this equation, we will find out the number of years. So let's look at the solution. Amount is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 raised to 2 because number of years is 2 years. So from this equation, value of r is equal to 100. Now we will use this value of r in the next statement, that is when the sum becomes 16 times, amount is equal to 16p, which is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 raised to n. Now using the value of r in this equation, then you will get 16 is equal to 1 plus 100 by 100, which is nothing but 1 raised to n. So this value is nothing but 2 raised to n. Now 16 can be written as 2 raised to 4 so as to get the value of n. Now comparing the power of 2, you will get n is equal to 4 years. So after 4 years, the same sum becomes 16 times at same rate of interest. Now let's move to the next problem. Question number 12. An amount was lent for 2 years at a rate of 20% per annum compounding annually. Had the compounding done half yearly, the interest would have been increased by 241 rupees. What was the amount lent in rupees? Let's say that the amount which is lent in rupees is y. Then it has been told that if the amount is lent for 2 years at 20% per annum compounded annually, that is it is given at 20% per annum at compound interest. However, instead of compounding annually, if the compounding is done half yearly on the same amount at same rate of interest, then interest which you will get will be 241 rupees more as compared to that of the interest which would have obtained when it is compounded annually. So we will use the formula of compound interest, that is amount is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 raised to n. Now generalizing the formula of compound interest, it can be written as amount is equal to compound interest plus principal, which is equal to p into 1 plus r by n raised to nt. Here if the compounding is done annually, then the value of r will be equal to 1 and the formula which you will get will be simple compound interest plus principal, which is equal to p into 1 plus r raised to t. Fine. And n can be considered as 2 when the compounding is done half yearly. Now it has been written in the question that the difference in the compounding is rupees 241 rupees. So difference in the compounding when it is done half yearly to that of the yearly is equal to nothing but the difference in the amount which is to be paid, that is compound interest half yearly plus principal minus compound interest done yearly plus principal is equal to 241 rupees. So simply we will apply the formula that is compound interest plus principal for half yearly will be equal to P into 1 plus R is 20%, so it can be written as 0.2 upon 2 raised to 2 into 2. In this case, compounding is done half yearly and the amount is equal to P into 1 plus P into 1.1 raised to 4. Now we will find out the amount when the compounding is done yearly. So compound interest plus principal is equal to P into 1 plus R is 0.2 upon 1 into n into t. Here n is 1, so 1 into 2. So you will get amount is equal to P into 1.2 square. Now difference is given, so we will take difference of the first equation and the second equation, and that difference is equal to 241 rupees. So 1.1 raised to 4 is nothing but 1.4641 p, and 1.2 square is nothing but 1.44 p. So difference over here is 0.0241 p, and that is equal to 241 rupees. So solving it for P is equal to 10,000 rupees. So the amount which is lent in rupees is 10,000. Let's move to next problem. Question number 13. The difference between simple and compound interest compounded annually on the certain sum of money for 2 years at 8% per annum is 40 rupees. What is the sum? In this equation, the difference between simple and compound interest is given, and it has been told that this difference is equal to 40 rupees when the certain sum, let's say that sum is nothing but x rupees, is given for 2 years at 8% per annum. So when this x rupees is given for 2 years at 8% per annum at simple interest, then the interest which you will earn is principal into R into T by 100. So this is the simple interest. Now if the x sum is given on the compound interest, then compound interest will be equal to P, that is x, into 1 plus R by 100, that is 8 by 100 raised to n, which is nothing but 2. This is the amount. So if we deduct the principal from the amount, you will get the compound interest. So this is the compound interest, and this formula is related to simple interest. Now the difference between compound and simple interest is nothing but 40 rupees. So from this equation we will find out the value of x. So let's look at the solution. Here principal is assumed as P. So compound interest will be equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to n. So substituting the value of R and T and subtracting the principal, you will get the compound interest, and which is equal to 104p by 625. Same way we will apply the formula for simple interest, PRT by 100, and that is equal to 4p by 25. Now difference is equal to 40 rupees. So substituting the value of first and the second equation. Now this equation is in terms of P, so we can solve for the value of P. So solving this equation, the value of P is 6,250 rupees. Next problem, question number 14. The sum of money increases by 60% in 4 years at simple interest. What will be the compound interest for rupees 20,000 after 3 years at the same rate of interest? Now in this problem it has been given that the money increases by 60% in 4 years at simple interest. Let's say that the money is P rupees. This P increases by 60%. So this P is converted into 1.6 times P, that is 60% of the principal in 4 years. Now simple interest is same every year. So if in 4 years the principal is increased by 60%, then in 1 year rate of simple interest will be 60% by 4, that is nothing but 15%. So 15% is the rate of interest per year at simple interest. Now we need to find out what will be the compound interest for rupees 20,000 after 3 years at same rate of interest. Now the rate of interest per annum in the previous case is 60% by 4, because every year simple interest remains same. So 60% by 4 is nothing but 15%. Now at 15% per annum, 20,000 rupees is given for 3 years, then we need to find out the compound interest. Now simple way to do is to use the formula compound interest is equal to principal is 20,000 into 1 plus r by 100 raised to n minus principal. So principal is 20,000, rate of interest is 15% and number of years is 3 years. So using this formula we can find out the compound interest. So this is the one way to find out the compound interest using the formula. But if you use the formula, then you will get certain terms in cube. So that might be difficult to solve it. Now there is another way to find out compound interest using shortcut method. So in this video, I am going to tell you about a shortcut method to solve problems related to compound interest. So over here, you can say that the rate of interest is 60% by 4, that is 15% per annum. Fine. So this 15% can be written as 3 by 20. That is 15 into 1 by 100. So 15 into 1 by 100 is nothing but 3 by 20. So it has been just written in the fraction. Now we need to find out the compound interest at 20,000 rupees. So let's say that the principal is 20,000 rupees. So first of all we will write down the principal over here. Now we need to find out the compound interest after 3 years. So let's say that at the end of the first year, interest paid will be equal to 15% on the principal. So 15% of 20,000 is nothing but 20,000 into 15 by 100. So that is equal to 3,000 rupees. So the compound interest at the end of the first year is 3,000 rupees. Now we will find out the compound interest which you will get after 2 years. So after 2 years, you will get an interest on the principal, that is 3,000 rupees. Plus, you will also get interest on this interest which you have earned at the end of the first year. That is, you will get interest of interest. So the interest on this 3,000 at 15% per annum is nothing but 450 rupees. So if you find out 15% of 3,000, which is nothing but 450 rupees. So this is the total interest which you will get at the end of the second year, which is 3,000 plus 3,000 plus 450. But we need to find out the total interest after 3 years. So again, at the third year, in the third year, you will get interest on the principal. So the interest on the principal is 3,000 rupees. Then you will get interest on this amount of 3,000, which is nothing but 450 rupees. Also, you will get interest on this 3,000 of the second year, which is again 450 rupees. Plus, you will get interest on this 450 rupees also. So 15% of this 450 rupees, if you will find out, then it will be 67.5 rupees. So the total interest which you will get is nothing but 3,000 3 times plus 450 3 times plus 67.5 rupees. So the total compound interest is equal to 3 into 3,000 plus 3 into 450 plus 67.5, and that is equal to 10,417.5 rupees. So this is how, with the help of shortcut method, we have found out compound interest. The other way is to directly go through the formula, that is P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to n minus the principal. From that also you will get the same amount, but in that case it may take long time to solve that equation, because you will get something raised to cube, because there are it is total 3 years. Now you can follow the same approach if you need to find out the compound interest, which I have shown you in this video. Now let's move to the next problem. Question number 15. The compound interest on rupees 6,000 for 3 years at a rate of 8% for first year, 10% for second year and 12% for third year is. Now you need to find out the compound interest on the principal of 6,000, but the rate of interest is different each year. So that can be found out from this formula, that is compound interest is equal to principal amount into increment of 8%. So that can be written as 1 plus 8 by 100 for the first year. Increment of 10% for the second year can be written as 1 plus 10 by 100. And for 12% third year, it can be written as 1 plus 12 by 100. So this is the total amount and if we separate the amount from the principal, so amount minus principal is nothing but the compound interest. Now solving this equation, the value of compound interest is 1983.36 rupees. So this is the end of part 3 of simple and compound interest. Thanks for watching.